Good afternoon, YouTube. This is me, always George Page, aka the Emperor of WWE Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, this is the first Sunday of the new month. We're already, I would say, we're just into the second week because May started at the end of April. April 30th was the last day for April. But this is the first full week, excuse me, of May. And Callaway, we're already almost 2 weeks into the month. Excuse me, sorry, I just had a little lunch earlier and just came on here, but time really flies fast for you. You really know it. So anyway, last night was one of the UFC's pay-per-views, UFC 288. The main event was Jermaine Sterling, aka Funk Master, versus Henry Cejudo, or I like to call him Burger King Jr. That's why I got the hater on, because I don't like, Henry Cejudo. I mean, they gifted him that fight against Mrs. Johnson's Mighty Mouse. He deserved to win that title. And he since then, he beats people like TJ Dillashaw, who's a ped user, and some other people, but then he just kind of walked away from MMA. I don't know. He kind of thinks himself as a Conor McGregor type, but he's not. He's a man with he's a little boy. He has a little boy body with a big man's head. I got shot to the Funk Master when he made that comment about he should be a jockey. He probably should have been, but he's a good wrestler. He's a silver medalist, and give him that. And he's a decent coach. He's working with people like Chris Cyborg and some other people in the MMA world. But like I said, his politics and stuff he says is just, that's why I never liked him from the get go. My man coach used to love him. He was a big fan of him. He saw what he was, and then he realized, he just kind of disavowed himself for, Burger King Jr. But like I said again, I mean, it was great to see Jermaine. I didn't see the fight, because like I said, I'm not gonna pay for any pay-per-view from Dead Wife Beater. Plus, I live on a budget, and I just got my tires for my car, and I paid my rent and everything, and I have to kind of stretch my dollars for the next 3 weeks or so. So, and that's how life is sometimes. Hey, it'd be nice if I could do it, but I can't always do it. But like I said, I know I want to shout out my man XA. I know I hadn't talked to him in a while. I know he's still, I hope he found a place. I try to call him or send him every so often, but I know he's going through a lot of things. I don't want to bother him too much. But like I say, if he needs to talk to me, I know he'll be on YouTube every so often, and he wants to holler at me. You can reach out to me at your best time. I'm not going to bother you, but I know you're going through a lot. And usually I won't mind having him on here, but I have lifted the link. If anybody who likes to come on here and talk a little bit MMA, I know a lot of you guys are more bodybuilding fans, but also you got to check out some phase in MMA. There's some great women who can be in the sport, and it's a tough sport. But if you look at the title of my thing, you notice that it is about Jessica Andrade lost. Now, there was only 2 women's fights on the UFC 288 card. One was on the prelims. This was Marina Rodriguez versus Ronda. What's the name? I gotta say, God, Coach called her, Rob Schneider. But she does kind of look kind of like Rob Schneider. I mean, it's the hair and rather the eyes. This would be a fight between 2 Brazilians, and Jessica Andrade was fighting against Zhang Xiaonan, who's from mainland China, like Wally Zhang, and this was her first fight after she got beat by Aaron Cold-Blooded Blanchfield. This was, like I said, I didn't watch the fight either. Like I said, sometimes I can go on YouTube and find a video of my posted, but I didn't do that because I've been so busy working on other stuff. I just did my interview yesterday with the lovely St. Carter, and I'm working on some other views coming up this week. And and usually, and that night, Coach has live stream. I listened to it, but after a while, my computer was getting low because I was working so much stuff, and then I was getting sleepy. I said, you know what? I was listening to the fight between Aljamain and Cejudo, but I said, you know what? I just gotta charge it. I just check and jump on in the morning and see what's the outcome of this fight. But like I said again, I'm proud of my boy, Aljo. I mean, strong black man, proud Jamaican boy. I mean, he talks about a lot of stuff and that's going on, especially points things out that a lot of people don't want, especially in UFC. I mean, I look at fights like Usman and also Israel. I don't call him Izzy anymore because he lost it right. And they'll step up because technically, even though they have lived here in the United States for a good while, they're not really black people, they're Africans. There's a big difference. Sometimes it's just how you raise or something like that. It's just there's a big difference between black people and Africans. We're not the same people. Black people, we have been people who live in this country. We've been we went through a lot and still going through it. But like I said, I just want to give a shout out again when I got a chance to my man Aljo. And young brother, you did good. This it was from when I was listening to Coach's live stream, it was a tough fight. I mean, and here's like I said again, I'm not a big fan of the dude, but he's no slouch when it comes to wrestling. Not the best stand-up artist, neither one of them. They're better wrestlers. One thing I think, Henry has competed since I think 2020, 2019, when he last competed. So almost nearly 3 to 4 years since he last competed. And sometimes you out that long, you get, not ring rust per se, you get cage rust because, they fight in the octagon, they fight in the cage. And, even though he's training and work with people, it's not the same as being actively competitive. I know, like I said, I shot him. People still get Aljo about the whole thing with him, Petrognan. Petrognan cheated. He hit Aljo with a knee, and he beat, Aljo beat Petrognan in the second fight. So he's a bantamweight champion. This is like 3 wins in a row since he's been champion. Counting even though it was a disqualification, win's a win. Like my man Vin Diesel said in Fast and Furious, be a yard or a mile, a win is a win. And then he beats the guy who cheated, and he beats the guy who's talking a lot of shit and who hasn't been fought for almost 3. People say, well, this is how people are going to talk. Especially people who are haters and racist. They be saying like, Aljamain, he fight, C3 has been hadn't competed for about 3 or 4 years. Yeah. But that the same thing with Conor McGregor when he didn't compete. Y'all say anything about that? Y'all have you keep your mouth shut when about Conor McGregor. And he competed for almost 2 or 3 years before he got beat by by Khabib. And then he gets a gifted fight against Cabo Cerrone, who was probably on his way out, and then he gets beat. He gets sucked by Dustin Poirier, and then gets leg broken. And but you don't say hey, you don't say that Conor McGregor's trash. You don't. It's double standard. But it was the main event, 280. I think where was it? It was today main event. He's defending his one. He came in 134 for the fight. And he, like I said, I got to give it to the young brother. 134. He was a pound less than the Henry Cejudo. I mean, hey, Henry Cejudo came in fighting weight. That's fair. But he has a slight height advantage. I think Aljamain got to be around about, I would say 5'5", 5'7", maybe I'm wrong. And Henry Cejudo is like he's a leprechaun. He's a Oompa Loompa. I mean, he's short. It's just like I said. Congratulations, young man. I mean, you defended your title. You put out a guy who's considered. I won't say he's not the best champion. The best champion 135. No, actually, it's 125 because Henry has titles best in 125 and 135, and the best 125 champion was DJ Demetrius Johnson, aka Mighty Mouse. He was the best champion in 125. Henry had a title. He was gifted the title. Yeah, he took over. He was 2-time champion, being world champion 125, 135. But then he decided to, for some reason, he thought he was Conor McGregor. Dude, you're a short midget, mofo. You're not Conor McGregor. I know Dana did take one of Conor's belt, but I think he took Henry's both his belts or one of them. I believe he took both the belts when he wasn't fighting. Hey, you sat out for 3 years. What are you doing? He's making money something else. That's what it is. But now that the whole thing with Henry Cejudo is done, we're finished with him. He's in the trash. Move on. But like I said, I want to say congratulations to Aljamain Sterling while I'm here. So anyway, what I'm talking about here is about what happened to Jessica Andrade. She got put to sleep. Ooh, that's bad. That's tough luck. When Jessica Andrade is one of the few women who are still in UFC when they just had 135. You remember she was fighting 135, and she got even beaten 135. She got submitted by lady who big fan of the lovely Mrs. Marion Renault Perez, and she's fought 115. She was champion for half a minute, but then she got swept by Jan's fellow countrywoman, Yang Janan. I mean, Wally Zhang, sorry, Wally Zhang. And it was like just because she fights like a bull in a china shop. That's her style. She rushes, she bull rushes shit, and that's why she beat Rose because Rose had a beat on stand up. I mean, she got Rose in her like about to throw it around in a wrestling move. Rose brought from her neck and Rose lost. So Rose could have still won that fight if she did not let her get in that total like that. Just maybe take a knee or something, or try to get her clinch, keep a distance. That's what you need to work on. Here's my man KL the Wanderer. He says he gives the clap. He's waving. Hey KL, how you doing? Hey, I know you don't know much about MMA, but if you want to come in for a minute, I don't have a problem. I got the link in the description, in the comment section. You can clock in. I saw a little bit of that video you had with that dude with the mask. What happened to Susan K? I mean, what happened with that? I mean, I interviewed Susan K. Whiteback. She's a great lady. I think she might be competing this year. She might do master shows. I don't know. I need to reach out to her again. I follow on social media, but I hadn't talked too much lately. I remember a while back she wasn't doing too much talking. I think her OIG got hacked or something, or I hope you get in contact with her, and I hope everything's all right with Susan. But with the situation with Jessica Andrade, she has to evolve. I think, or she needs to move out. This is the back-to-back loss for Jessica Andrade since she lost to Erin Blanchfield. And that's been like since the early this year. I guess got a pop in, folks. I just hear him. And we just got a guest just popped in the last minute. Give me a second, folks. This is my man KL the Wanderer. Just hear him popped in.
What's up? How you doing, sir? Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm talking about some WMA. I know you do follow some wrestling, some of the more exotic wrestling, but WMA, there's a lot of women who, compete in wrestling, who also compete in MMA, and some do also a little bit of the exotic stuff. This is the way to make money. But I don't know you watched it and you heard about it, how Jessica Andrade got slept by Yang Xiaonan. This is the second time in her career she got put to sleep by a Chinese fighter.
I don't even know who that is. So you just posted it.
yeah. Like I said, Jessica Andrade, she's been fighting with the UFC since I think the good part of about 2014, 2015. She was fighting in women's 135 division, but she was kind of on the smaller end. And then when UFC created 115, about a year or two later, she switched over to 115. She's done pretty good in 115, pretty good record. Many of her fights ended with stoppages, but she was champion for half a minute in 115. She lost it to Wally Zhang. Wally Zhang did the same thing what Yang Xiaonan did. Hit her right across the jaw and put her to sleep. I mean, she hadn't been beaten this bad since I think her last fight against Valentina Shevchenko. I'll put up the picture right here if people want to see it. And it's tough break. I'm gonna say it's just tough break.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was Jessica Andrade.
Andrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is she? Spanish or
No, she's Brazilian.
Oh, Brazilian? Okay.
Yeah, Jessica Brazilian, and Yang Jinan is from China. And it was like I think Andrade's record is 24-10. Meaning, the losses I know of is most definitely is when she got beat by Joanna Jacek. She got beat by Rose. First she got beat for the she I know she got beat by Mario No. She got beat by Wally Zhang. Got beat by Rose. Then she gets beat by Valentin Shevchenko.
You can't show
Then
no high. I'm sorry, you can't show no highlights, no
no, I
clips of it.
can't. No, I
Oh,
know I can't
YouTube gonna
because
be bitching.
yes, one thing most definitely UFC. You
Oh,
can't show UFC. You cannot. My man, the coach, he used to show. He used to do like a fight study, and
yeah.
he showed like clips of the fights. He'll show the whole video. He showed the clips and the movements
Yo,
from it.
but not to cut you off, but that shit is crazy because I be like, if you Google, I mean, like, if you like type in certain things, they show. I guess it depends. I don't know, because they'll show like a little bit of WWE and all that stuff, and yeah, I don't get it. Like, how come it's okay for certain places you could show fighting, but other people like us, it's a done
Well,
deal. I don't know.
because those companies will pay them often enough, or because they're big news outlets that let them have it. If you're like ESPN or or something like ABC Sports, because the UFC is under it, they are part of ESPN,
Mm,
and also ESPN is part of ABC, which is ABC Sports is part of Disney. If you're any like a big sports outlet, there, or even if you're a big YouTube outlet, if you're someone who has over 1 million subscribers and they know they can use advertisements like that, they'll let you. But if you're like a small YouTuber, like my man, the coach, Carmen Baker 99, BJ over
mm,
No Filter MMA, my sister, Tay Tay Brown, and these others who do content on MMA, they cannot show any because it'd be called copyright infringement. That's what they
right.
call it.
Yeah.
And the fact is that we're content makers, but because we're not a big enough platform, and a lot of people what they do is like sometimes what I used to do, like if I don't watch the pay-per-views, I can jump on YouTube. I can always find some guy who recorded the fight and posted it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What they do there when YouTube finds out and UC finds out, they're like delete and close, shut down the site, and they give a strike to that page. But a lot of people, all you can do here, all you can do is you can have multiple emails, and you can keep creating a YouTube channel. As long
Hmm.
as you have different, I think,
I like a couple of weeks back, I did like a China thing where I put like some clips together and stuff. I don't know.
yeah, you gotta be careful. Those companies, as you know, WE and
Yeah, I'm
UFC are
gonna
now.
take it out. But it ain't like it has like so much like likes or views. But I'm gonna take it out because I ain't trying to hear that.
Well, how long you had it?
Like more like couple of weeks, I think. Yeah,
Well,
like not
you
that
had
long.
if you have nothing against it, nothing, no, you have no strikes, and you have no YouTube strikes or anything like that, and it's just clips and stuff. It's nothing like any matches or anything like that. They
Nah.
won't bother you too bad because I know a guy like Adonis. He'll show clips from like he'll do a thing like Chris like Chris Benoit says Chris, and then like you see clips from Chris Benoit, and
Yeah.
that's he I don't because he's a bigger YouTuber, but still he has gotten put in YouTube jail and penalized, but as long as YouTube don't say nothing to you or the WWE don't say nothing to you. I think you have a limit. You can only show maybe up to about 8 or 10 seconds of a clip, and they give you
Okay.
that.
All right.
So,
Then
so
then
if you,
maybe it's not nothing to worry about.
yeah, as long as you don't get a strike from YouTube or you get some penalized, you can or you just check your channel, check to
Yeah.
see anything because I know I got a strike, but I didn't get a copyright strike. It was a copyright strike, but because I posted a video, it was a clip from when Larissa Pacheco defeated Kayla Hype Job Harrison. But they
Okay.
say they can give me. I can't monetize, make money off that video because it's from another company. But I'm allowed to have it. I don't get a YouTube strike. Oh, we got my man here, Marcus Bell. He says all the way Judge Page coming through, smashing that like. Thank you, brother Marcus. And Marcus also, he's a big fan of MMA. He's also on our Lions Den WMMA community Facebook page. He says a blueprint was been out for Andrade for a while, but it does depend on which fighter can take advantage of Andrade being reckless. Yeah, and it's true. Jessica Andrade, she fights kind of wild. I mean, I made commentaries about she's like the Hulk.
Mm.
She likes to Hulk. She likes to use her strength, and she, especially for she's strong. Especially for her height and size. She's a strong Brazilian woman. And Jessica, she has, some girls don't want to fight her, but if you know how to, she's predictable. She is. She likes to, charge in and head first and try to overpower you. You can beat it. Like you look at the picture right now, how young Xiaonan just hit her with
Yeah.
a nice right hook, and she just kind of ducked that that straight jab that Jessica's doing. It just kind of grazed her, and she hit her good. I mean, she laid her out. If you see the avatar cover of the video, how the
Yeah.
judge, how the referee is looking down at Jessica. Jessica, she's really is predictable. And I think she really needs to think about, I don't know, stepping away from MMA. But I'm going to read a little bit here, and so people who are still listening, see. So Jessica Andrade is, like I said, is 24-10. We'll be looking to rebound this after suffering a submission loss to Erin Blanchfield. That was like about a couple of months ago. Her most previous octagon appearance was past February. Prior to setback, the former UFC strawweight champ was on a 3-fight winning streak, which included stoppage victories over Cesar Calvillo, Amanda Lemos, and also meth head Lauren Murphy, who I'm not a fan of. She beat those two. She beat Calvillo and she got defeated. She beat Calvillo like about a couple months ago. Then she took a fight with Blanchfield. She beats Amanda Lemos, who's probably on track for the title a little bit before that, and then she defeated right after that fight against Lemos, she defeated Lauren Murphy by decision. She just that's the fight where I talked about where that fight should have been stopped. I don't
Yeah.
know. People keep saying, yeah, she went on her shield. That shield don't mean saying you're getting beat. You can have heart and all that. It don't mean shit if you're getting beat. You have the heart to win. You should be able to win, but it doesn't mean shit. Now, meanwhile, Xiaonan, who is 16-3, was last seen in action of October 2022, where she earned her majority decision win over Mackenzie Dern, who is a very popular fighter in the UFC because she's more known. She's an American girl who tries to talk Brazilian because her father's Brazilian. She you can find videos of Mackenzie Dern where she talks like a valley girl from Arizona, but she lives in Brazil for a little bit to train, and she has this fake Brazilian accent. There's been a couple of times she even had translators stand beside the girl. Don't even speak. She don't have no. She has a fake Brazilian accent, but she has a fat booty and nice set of titties. That's all it is.
Mhm.
But victories was preceded by back-to-back losses to Carla Esparza and Marina Rodriguez. And round of the strawweight matchup begins with Zhang leads with a low kick. She connects with another, and then the Chinese standout goes for the body with a jab. That's the thing. People always remember, attack the body as much as you attack the head. If you attack the body, make the person want to protect their hand, take their body, take their arms, protect their body, and then the head be more exposed. Just a drop tends to answer with wild combinations that misses. The former strawweight champion comes forward with a big flurry. Janan answers with a nice right up in the middle. So I figure plus a right uppercut in the middle. Andrade looks for a big hook. Janan counters with a nice hook, and she lands a low kick. Janan, and we go through yeah. And here's this is a slight little video. I think it is right here. And yeah, I gotta not show that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better, because UFC is. It was just a little flash. I should have stopped myself, but it was quick. It was. I think it got to be around about the. I think it was around about the. It was a KO in the first round. First round TKO.
Mm.
I hope I don't get a strike from UFC. They're gonna probably, but I can probably edit out later if I get a chance to. But I'm on live now, so it's
Yeah,
too
you
late.
just or you didn't show like her beating up nobody. She just was on top of her and that was it.
It was over. It was like
Yeah,
first.
that's what I'm saying. It ain't like you gonna get. I don't think so. I wouldn't think that.
Nah, yeah, it was already over for it. It's just it was over.
Yeah.
First round TKO. Jessica Andrade, you know, her fight with against what's the face against Jacek, or I call it Jana Bojacek. It went the distance, but Jacek is the better striker. She was hitting her with all the shots, and this fight here, she just got her just got KO'd. She got laid out. That's damn, this is how it is, what don't we say?
I don't know. If it, that get speaker, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I just got a little drink, but it makes sense how she has not evolved as a fighter in almost 10 years since she's been in the UFC.
Mm. How long she been fighting?
Probably nearly 15 years.
15,
Hmm.
damn, how she do that in 15 years? Jesus.
Well, like no different from a boxer who does it for at least 20 years.
Mm.
And compared to boxing, you don't have as you. It's not as you're not as act. Most time a boxer might fight maybe two times in a year at the most, maybe
Yeah.
three. Because usually you take like you gotta go to percussion protocols. Getting
How
knocked out.
often?
So you
No,
hmm?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask like how often do these women fight? Because it's not like like imagine like they like Muhammad Ali and stuff. That'd be crazy.
Well, it's all dependent. If for example, if you don't get like severely knocked out,
Yeah,
there's usually sometimes a 4 to 5, maybe 6 months percussion protocol because you get knocked out. Concussions can be really damaging. They
yeah.
don't want you to fight immediately after you get knocked after a knockout. If you lose the fight by submission or lose the fight by even like depending on submission, what kind of submission. If it's something like an arm bar or something like a choke out, you
Mm-hmm.
you have another 3 or 4 months you want to come back once you set up a fight, But with getting knocked out, especially with percussion protocols, because you fall and you get knocked out, you get put to sleep.
Right.
They have safety protocols now. Back then they did where you have to at least wait out for at least 5 6 months. You have to see a neurologist to see how your brain is functioning. There's no any weird damages, any issues from concussions, and you probably can fight by the end of the year,
Yeah.
depending if you get the doctor's clearance. You know, um, some fighters can fight. I know Jessica fought. At least this is her. I think her fourth fight. She had 2 fights in the end of last year.
Mm.
Because she fought Eric Blanchfield. She had at least, like I say, she fought Cesar Calvillo, I believe, the first of the year. Then she fought Eric Blanchfield. This is her third fight for this year, I believe. If I'm not, because I'm gonna make a quick look in her, because you see, I'm gonna take a look at her topology. Let me see, Jessica Andrade. Ooh, I say, let me go back here. Give me a minute. And I see, excuse me. Ooh, you know, see, all it takes is jumping on here. Let's see. Give me a minute. Talk about yourself while I'm going to this. But I think I know she did at least 3 fights this year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay. Friday. So, I'll check her. All right. So I can go to Tapology. See. Here we go. Now she fought. See, Xiaonan. She fought yesterday. Now she fought Aaron Blanchfield back in February, and she fought Lauren Murphy in January. That's three. That's 3 fights within barely 4 to 5 months.
Mm.
She took Aaron Blanchfield to Soap Noise fight because one of Aaron's opponents had to drop out. That was Tyler Santos. Tyler Santos couldn't come over because of visa issues. She fought. That was those two. These last two fights was in strawweight. Before then, I think. Let me see. I would put up her. See, I was looking at Wikipedia early this morning because when I'm about to do this video, so I was going to check some information. So okay, so see now this is see her last fight. As I said again, was against Aaron Blanchfield, was a loss. Now
Yeah.
she had 3 straight wins. You know, she two of those wins was in strawweight. No wins. No, that's wrong. Two of those wins was in flyweight, and one was in straw. She beats Pacific Cavillo, and that was uh 2021. See, that was 2021. Seemed like it was just yesterday. You know. Then she beats Amanda Lemos in 2022. Yeah, she had that many fights in 2022. Other than so she's been and then she took a loss in 2021 against Valentina Shevchenko. Then she beats Cynthia Calvillo that same year. Then 2022 was kind of quiet for her. She only had one fight in 2022, and that was April. And that was against Amanda Lemos. Not
Mm-hmm.
many, not much action for a while because usually Jessica fight maybe at least about 2 times in a year, maybe three. Then she fought Lauren Murphy in the beginning of this year, January of 2021, and she defeated her by unanimous decision. But that fight should have been stopped. Then she got submitted by a rear naked choke by Aaron Blanchfield, and then she gets KO'd first round by Yan Jana. And that seems like they'll probably keep her because she has a good record. Like I said, her record's been pretty good. She's been fighting since, like I said, a little over 10 years since 2020 since 2011. Her career go back to 2011. Most of the fights were mostly good part of her fights were in Brazil, and then she got into UFC by 2013, and that's when it started the 135. Her first loss against Liz Carmouche, who's now Bellator's 125 champion. She beats women like Rosie Sexton, Raquel Pennington, Luisa Pacheco. Then she loses to Marion Renault, and that was in 2015. She beats Sarah Morris. Then she loses to Raquel Pennington. That's when she was still in 135. Then they opened the 115 division. So she beats Jessica Renee, who came over. This is what started 115. She beats Joanna Coderwood. She had, I would say, this fight went the distance between her and Angela Hill. They say unanimous decision, but I feel like it could have been a split decision. This is the only person she has not knocked out or choked in a fight.
Mm.
Then she loses to Juliana Jacek by unanimous decision. Then she beats Claudia Gadelha, who fought Jessica Andrade. Who fought Joanna Jacek twice, but lost titles against Joanna twice. And I saw that fight between her and Claudia. Claudia could have done better, but she just fell into the trap.
Mm.
She beats up Tisha Torres. She knocks out Carolina Kovacevic, who fought for the title a while back. Then she KOs Rose Namajunas, who was the champion at the time, by a slam, a KO slam, which she dropped Rose on her neck. Then she gets knocked out by Wiley Zhang for the title. Then she loses split decision to Rose, and she hits she goes up to 125. She defeats Caitlin Chikagian and with a body shot. Then she gets a title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. People talking that Valentina was going to lose. No, Valentina's going to get a lose. No, it was like that scene. You remember you remember the movie Infinity War?
Yeah.
You remember that part with Hulk and Thanos?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what Valentina was with Thanos, while Jessica Andrade was the Hulk. You know what happens
Oh,
to Hulk?
yeah.
Yeah, and she
Exactly like that.
exactly like that. You got to watch the fight. She got She got
She
beat up,
manhandled.
elbowed, KO, TKO elbows. She was hitting
Oh,
her. She was hitting with elbows in the second round. It was over. She was just beating up. Everybody was saying that. Oh, Jessica is gonna beat Valentina. No, Jessica got destroyed.
mm,
She like I say, Valentina was like Thanos. She was using her better fight skill compared to,
mm.
Jessica Andrade who's Hulk try to body anybody, try to push. Then she comes back, she gets a win with Cabello, beats Limos, then beats Lauren Murphy. So she takes a last moment. She steps in as a last minute opponent because one of the other opponents dropped out of fight with Aaron Blanchfield. Aaron Blanchfield beats her with a rear naked choke, and then she gets KO by Yang Janan. I think she should have took some more. That fight with, like I said, with Blanchfield was least, February, and she lost to Yang Janan in the May.
It's Xiaonan.
Xiaonan, yeah. So that's barely 2 to 3 months since the last fight. So, that's telling you that she really needs to work on a few things. I mean, it's just, she's predictable. I think she might just go ahead and think about retiring. I mean, she's been competing in the UFC for 10 years, 10 years.
Mm.
And, other fighters that came in along about the same time she did have retired. There's still some fighters like Jessica Bonet who's still fighting there, Raquel Pennington, and a couple others still fighting, but many others have decided to retire and walk away from the sport. The thing is, she was a while back. Jessica did have an OnlyFans, and she said, yeah, she was making some money from it, but she shut it down. I
Mm.
think she should go ahead and bring it back up.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
She was
Jessica.
showing like exotic stuff, or what?
A lot of like some nudes, semi nudes.
Okay.
I mean, some guys wouldn't, if like I said, she has that very athletic, muscular physique. And there's a lot of female bodybuilders. You know as well. You have interviewed some ladies who have OnlyFans,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and there's some guys who's really into that. You
yeah.
know, and
Yo, you wanted me? Oh, no, I was going. You wanted me to talk to you about the Sarah K. You
Susan
mentioned
K.
Susan K. Yeah,
Well, I said, what happened with your interview with her?
I don't know. I sent the email. I was like, hey, I sent her the link. I didn't hear from her. We would well me and Rolando, because I was tagging Rolando with me, and we was waiting for like, I would say like 30 minutes. It was like, because she said 1:30. Then I was like trying to check. I don't know what happened, bro. I mean, it's like I ain't really stressed it too much. I just like, you know what, another one bite the dust.
Well, I know I interviewed a while back. I even have a number. I don't know if it still works. I tried to call a couple of times, but we should talk a little bit on the phone.
Mm,
Maybe I might reach out, see. Maybe she might respond to me. I don't know, but I know she might be planning to compete this year because I follow her on IG, and also I follow her a while
and
back.
she
Her
ain't tell me that, so I don't know.
well, like I said, it's been a while since we don't talk that much. We did talk a few times, but I
Yeah,
don't know if she was mentioning. But I know a while back her OIG got shut down. I remember
mm,
that's right about the time when my IG got hacked, and
right.
then I've also followed her on Facebook. But I don't know. She, like I
No,
said, she's a busy, she's a busy lady. She got
but
this.
I
She also,
emailed her. I emailed her twice. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I
all good.
know,
I
I
just
know,
let
I
her
know.
use that.
It can be fussy, but just if you don't get them, just like I said before, just move on. Just
Yeah.
move on. Don't focus on too much. But anyway, also, with Jessica Andrade, there was talk of her. One point, she won a shot at Wally Zhang, but with this loss, now with these back-to-back losses, there's a good chance that she's going really down. She was, like I said, in the past, she's been a contender. She fought for the title. She beat Rose. And then she was going. Then after she switched over to 125, she beat Kate Jichakian, who was a former title contender at 125, and she get a straight shot to Valentina Chico, and then get beat up. She had a couple of fights in 125, but she went back to 115. That's where she
Right.
fights at now. And then with this loss, I don't think they're gonna cut her because there's been fighters been on here who have been 2 or 3 losses. They kept them, but they bounced back. I think this Zhang fight was probably her way for her to maybe get a title shot. I mean, Xiaonan fight was probably a title shot to Zayn. Now Zayn's saying that she don't want to fight her fellow countrywoman, but the thing is, she has to realize her fellow countrywoman is on practically a 2-fight winning streak because Zhang took a bunch of back-to-back losses. That was against Carla Esparza, who was a champion, the two-time champion in 115. Maria Rodriguez, who was on at one point a 4-fight winning streak, but she decided not to take a chance to fight the champion at the time. That was Zhang. She ducked that fight, and now she's on and Maria Rodriguez right now is on a 2-fight losing streak. And Yans is on a 3-fight. She beat Mackenzie Dern, who is a very popular fighter. I don't think she'll ever get a title fight. She's gonna be there for popularity. She's kind of like the the female version of Conor McGregor, more or less. And
she talk a lot of stuff. She talk a lot.
No, she don't talk a lot of stuff because she's pretty.
Yeah,
she got a fat booty, and that's what it is.
The Chinese.
No, not a Chinese girl. No, Mackenzie Dern. Yeah,
show me a picture. Show.
Let me.
You're naming these names. I'm like, it's
I know.
bodybuilders though. You got to display something.
Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up some pictures of Mackenzie Dern. I just googled her, and she's all right looking. She's decent looking, but one thing that's really, you know what? I can jump on her IG real quick.
All right.
Let me see. I'm going to pull up her IG. Let me see. And the thing about Mackenzie Dern, she is attractive. She got she's half Brazilian because her father's Brazilian,
right?
And her mother is probably a white woman from Arizona. She really lives in Arizona. She's best known for her BJJ, and she trained in Brazil for good weight, but she has a fake Brazilian accent. I'm about to pull it up in a bit, and you can see this picture here. I got displayed. Give me a second.
All right.
She, like I say, she's all right looking. Some fights, I don't think she deserved to win. They gave her the decision because
she got a nice body.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern. Okay.
Yeah, she has a little girl. She was married. I think she just got divorced some time ago. Yeah.
I'm not
this is her with a little girl. I think her little girl's like about 1 year old now, about 2.
She's cute. She's a cutie pie.
Yeah. She was married to another dude. He was Brazilian also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And here's some pictures of Mackenzie. She's
I'll date her. I would date her.
I do more than date. I just don't want to do. See. Yeah, she's dancing with some girls. She can catch it. She can catch it. She has that. She got a nice.
Yeah.
She got a lot thicker after she had that baby. She already had a nice booty, but she got. I don't know. She should get implants or not.
It's the personality. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, she got divorced. We don't know why.
Yeah. And she's, she has a nice look to her. I mean, that's why she's there, because she's attractive. She's kind of like, I would love. One thing I would love to see her, it was maybe if they should have recruited her. Her fight against Valerie Loretta. I would love to send that. Her and the battle of the booties. You can't help
Maybe
it.
I gotta look at this more often as MMA, because I'm not really like with the fighting thing. I just like what I like, the exotic wrestling.
Yeah. No, you like that. Yeah, that's not my. I watch it. I used to watch it every now and then, but not much for it. Yeah. I like to watch combat sports. I like boxing. I like wrestling. I like MMA. And here's you on the beach, and you wow.
I try. I'll look at a little some of it, like on the MMA a little bit. Because you was telling me about it, but I never got so drawn to it like that. Just people killing each other.
Well, like I said, I grew up as a boxing fan.
Yeah,
I always liked boxing. I was a big fan of boxing growing up as a kid. I grew up in the tail end of the Ali era. I grew up with Mike Tyson. I grew up with,
Yeah, I
you
mean, yeah,
know, Sugar
yeah,
Ray Leonard.
everybody watching Mike Tyson and stuff like that. I mean, I seen like Muhammad Ali, highlight documentaries and stuff. Like I always enjoyed Muhammad Ali talking shit, the Joe Frazier and George Foreman and all that. But like outside those two, I wouldn't say I was like a boxing fan like that. Like, I mean, I try to box, but that's the far I got. Hit the speed bag. That's it. Like, never.
See, me, we got the country. We didn't box like that. We wrestle. Me and my older brother, and my younger brother, and my nephews, we wrestle. That's what
Mm,
we don't have to throw hands like that. We just grab you, slap you, and just wrestle with you. That's how we fought.
yeah.
Some guys I fought some guys that had good hands. I try to but I usually try to just use my strength and just wrestle. Say, I'm country boy. I don't fight. I wrestle. But like I said, Yan Janan is, like I said, she's on her way to
Yeah.
probably get a title shot against her fellow countryman. Now, her fellow countryman, which is Wally Zhang, said she don't want to fight from the other Chinese player. But hey, there's like I said on the prelims card there was two Brazilian fighters. That was
Yeah.
Maria Rodriguez versus Vera Jonarova,
Mm,
and they're both from Brazil. So you're gonna always have blacks fight against blacks, whites fight against whites, Brazilian
yeah.
fight against Brazilians. Truthfully, Brazil is not really. People say it's not really a race per se; it's a nationality. So you're gonna say, they're more of a mixed culture. You're kind of like like a lot of people from Mexico. Not many people who are Mexican descent are either of Native American descent or descended from white Europeans. You got some that who have some black African because
Right.
you see a Mexican chick with a fat booty, that's not from European, that's not from Native American, that's from African. You look at Puerto Rican women, they have those aspects. Look at women who are from, and you go if you go to any if you go to Mexico, South America, you go to um across anywhere down to Central or South America, you're going to
Yeah.
find those women with those aspects of Afrocentricity,
Mm,
especially Brazil, because Brazil Portuguese, your Portuguese were the biggest slave traders next to the Spanish, you
mm-hmm.
know, and they use a lot of slaves, and you're always going to have blend. You're going to have. I think I was watching a thing called Fighting Roots. How there's a chat like a chart back in the day. How you have the white Europeans, you have those natives, you have those black, and you have those little mixed. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, also, one lady we know both know. She just competed at the St. Louis show. And that's Mariana Van Geke.
Oh,
I don't.
yeah. You interviewed her one time, right?
Yeah, you interviewed. I interviewed her.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Marie. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know how she placed. I got to check.
Yeah.
I just posted that the lady who won the show is Pamela Canfield. She won it. So I'm probably talk about it on my live tomorrow. My partner, he's not gonna be make it because his job. But if you want to come through, because we're gonna run over the list.
I'm taking I think by that time, like when you have your thing, I'm gonna take my father to the clinic. I don't know. I mean, Rolando. I mean, he was interested in coming in.
But he said he gets off till it's like he gets off at 5. That's like
No,
eight
but
o'clock.
he told yeah he told me he had a day off. He should be able. From what he told me, he got a day off tomorrow. Cause
So
go ahead. I ain't
because
mean.
because I thought mine's at 3. I'll post the link in the comment section,
Yeah.
and if you want to jump on, you can jump on.
Yeah, just post the link like you did today, and I'm gonna talk to him, text him and stuff. Like George waiting for you, and he'll hop on.
Well, let's
So
say he come in when he won't come on. Like I said, yeah, no.
yeah,
They'll say I'm waiting for him to say George is going to do his live stream. He's going to post
yeah,
a link. I'll come on. I don't wait for anybody. You
yeah,
come, you come. Don't
yeah.
say that. Say I'm waiting for somebody. use your words wisely, boy.
All right, that's the West. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I just busting you
My
balls.
bad. My bad.
I give New Yorkers like I just busting you balls, man. I'm just busting you balls.
My bad.
Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying again, Yang Janan fought Marina Rodriguez a while back. Marina was on a 4-fight winning streak. And she was even offered an opportunity to fight for the title for 115. She turned it down. Now, here's the thing is, if the UFC gives you opportunity, take it. Because you may not win, but you get a good payday. But then she loses to, let me see if I can find the a picture from the fight. See, I think I can jump on the UFC's IG, I believe, and and let me see, UFC IG. Let me see if I pull it up and see UFC 30. Let's see, and it should have a picture from the fights because the one thing, the main event was between a fight between Aljamain Sterling, young brother. He defeated Henry Cejudo, who I'm not a fan of. You should have. Then now you have, oh no, not this fool. You
What's
know,
this?
I mean, I'm just looking to view. It's I saw a clip. I saw a little picture from the this dumbass. He's what's his name? You'll know him, but I know who he is. He's I don't know why his ass want to fight for a title. He's been on a fight. He just only why Dana White keep him because he likes him. The thing about Dana White Peter, he if he likes somebody, he gives them more opportunity than people that truly deserve it. But what was this? Let's see. It should be. I don't see it. They don't have it on here. They don't have they have all other fights, and they don't have. I guess because the fight went a decision. But I thought that when they had it in tonight, where they had it, the you know they had it 280. Didn't have it in. They had it somewhere. Where was it? See, let me see. 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 It should be a video of where is no. Even though it was on the prelims, it should be. No, I don't see. I don't have it on here. Even though it's on the prelims, it should usually have. Well, the prelims don't get a lot of attention, but I most definitely thought they'll have because this fight with. I think because the fight went the distance. It wasn't on the main card, but still, they'll still have some pictures from the weigh-ins for even the prelims. But I don't
Man.
see it. UFC they always. But I know one thing is people who followed me and know that they announced that uh, just sorry, Amanda Nunes, the double champ is facing Irene Daniel
Mm.
for women's 135 division. They just announced it this week. I'm kind of glad because originally the plan was that Amanda Nunes was supposed to fight the her third fight with Juliana Pena,
Mm.
and Juliana Pena beat Amanda about back in 2021. Then she had a rematch with Amanda in 2022. Amanda dominated that fight, and a lot of people were saying we didn't want to see this fight. We didn't want to see Pena and Nunes 3. But Judah kept talking it up. There was plans that she was originally going to fight Irene Daniel, but Irene was going to fight Raquel Pennington.
Yeah.
But instead, something happened to Juliana.
Who's the one in the black again?
That's Irene Daniel.
Okay.
She's from Mexico.
All
She's
right.
from the same fight camp as the current 125 champion, short-lived 125 champion, Alexa Grasso. But to me, I mean, that's the fight we want to see. If you follow me, I'm talking about this. This is the fight we want to see. We want to see Irene Dana versus Amanda Nunes. We want to see Amanda go against somebody else she hadn't fought before. She's
Mm.
already fought Rocky Pennington once. She fought Juliana Pena twice. She fought Holly Holm. She fought, Jermaine Geronimi twice. I mean, and 135 is when UFC started, it was the only weight class they had for women for a good while, and the champion there was Ronda Rousey.
Mm.
Ronda loses to Holly Holmes. She disappears for a while. Then Holly loses the title to Misha Tate. Misha Tate loses the title to Amanda. Then Ronda comes back. She fights Amanda. Amanda just beats her up. Then she goes off to go to wrestling.
Mm.
Then after that, You know, I think the series she her and Valentina had a second fight. That was her second title defense. She beats up her best friend Raquel Pennington. They used to call her Rocky Pennington, but then after she sat on her stool and says, "I want to be done," and wanted to quit, and they pushed her
Right.
back into the fight. The girl was getting beat up. Let her
Mm.
quit. Let her quit. Don't push somebody in there. That's bad. If the fight attention they want to quit, let them quit. Especially if you feel like you're not winning, let them quit.
Man.
Then she fights Holly Holm. She fights Jermaine Duranamy. She's pretty much. Then she fights Chris Cyborg and beats her and takes her title because she defeated Chris Cyborg, who was 145 champion, and now she's double 145 and 135.
Why
She
she
goes on
call
to come.
herself cyborg? Why
Chris
she call
Cyborg. That's the name they gave. I don't know. It's
no?
the name they always go for her. I forgot her name is Justino. No. What's I forgot Chris Cyborg's first name. Her last name is Justino. That's her husband's name because she was married. But I always call her Cyborg. That's I did a video about her once and she liked
Right.
it. She commented on it and she commented some stuff before on my channel. But I would always like to ask her where she got the name Cyborg from. I know she's busy. I would love to interview her, but she's busy. She's busy. She's boxing with that. I mean, of course, got to interview with her while she's sitting there in an airport, and just talking with them. But yeah, I don't know how she got a name. I think I probably will find out about something. I think I can ask the coach. He maybe can tell me. But she's been double chip champ for the past 2 3 years. Then she lose the title to Junior Pena about 2 years ago in 2021. And then she comes back to have a rematch and she defeats it and takes back 135 title. She has not defended her 145 title since her suspension. That's almost been 3 years ago. And and just talk of her fighting maybe Norma Demond or Chasey Handler or Chandler or whoever else who's in that division because right now 145 there's nobody's not enough bodies for her to defend the title because a lot of the girls are 135ers who are fighting who technically 145 is fighting 135 and these are one in the UFC especially Dana White feeder don't want to recruit bigger women because he feel like bigger women are not that attractive. But like I said, there's some women who are big and who are attractive. It's just about the prejudice of it because UFC they're going to generally go by their fan bases is white males between 18 to 40. And women between 18 to 40 don't like women over anything over 135. It's just you got people like Holly Holmes who fought 135, 145 for the title. It's just a lot about this. It's just a lot of shit going on. It's Dana is ageist and racist. He's both for that.
Mm.
But now Yan Xiaonan defeating Jessica Andrade, well, she didn't really need that fight. But it probably was a way for the UFC to prove that she maybe is capable of maybe getting up against her own fellow countrywoman, Wally Zhang.
Mm.
You have anything else to say?
Uh, I have no idea, man. I mean, what's the big deal? They fighting each other. I mean, Chinese people, they kill each other.
Yeah, but you know what Zhang is mindset feel like she shouldn't fight her own fellow countrywoman. You remember Conejo.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He don't like to fight Mexicans.
Mm.
You know, you know, you know,
They kill each other too.
yeah, but it's a sport. It's like you always see black fighters fighting each other.
Yeah.
I know there's some black fighters say they don't want to fight a black guy, but in fact, there's not enough white guys. Or if you look at most of the divisions, especially from heavyweight all the way down to maybe somewhere about middleweight, welterweight,
Right.
most of those are dominated by black fighters. You're always gonna cross paths with somebody black.
Yeah.
In MMA, there's a lot of Brazilians. And now this card you had two Brazilian women fight each other, and you can always have Brazilians cross each other in the path. Even in the men's division,
Right.
there's a lot of Brazilians. MMA is very popular
So
in
they fight
Brazil.
each other. Brazilians fight each other.
Yeah, they fight each other. But she want to use the excuse of I shouldn't have to fight my own fellow countrywoman. It shouldn't matter. You're fighting an opponent. You're defending your title. You're a champion.
Much
And
as
this
they be
woman,
persecuting their own people up in China.
yeah. Yeah, and this is in your fair countrywoman. She's on a 2-fight winning streak, and right now, the former champion, Carla Esparza, who had a title that Wally Jean beat, she's barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah.
Rosanna Nunez, who defeated Wally Jean twice, she's on some mental hiatus because she lost to Carla Esparza twice. The one person that would had a shot at a title, that's Marta Rodriguez. She lost to Verna Jandiroba. Now she had an opportunity to fight for the title because she was on a 4-fight winning streak. She turned it down. From what I'm
Mm.
hearing, she said she want to fight someone like Rose Namajunas. She needs a warm up fight. You need a warm up fight. You're on a 4-fight winning streak. You have a champion who's sitting right now at home. He hadn't defended her title since I think I believe like last year. That fight between Carla and Wally. And she wants to, and yeah, one of my favorite fighters, Valentina Shevchenko, she always been an active fighter. She used to try to fight 2 or 3 times in a year. But right
Mm.
now, when she don't have the title anymore, she has to wait till the new champion wants to set up a title fight. They might try to do it in Mexico or something like that because Dana White is about. Even though I don't like the guy, Dana. Sorry, I keep saying Dana White. Dana wife beater. I can always correct myself when
Oh, he, I
because
think you mentioned that before. He smacked his wife smacked him or something like that, and then
his
he hit
wife.
him.
Yeah, she hit him.
Yeah.
He hit her. He went after her.
Um.
He could have stopped it. Slap.
Yeah.
Or he shouldn't have slapped her hard. It's one thing when a woman slaps you, especially in society. Hey, just take it. You know.
I mean, society now, it's like it be contradicting because they be like, oh well, women are equal to men, and that all that feminism stuff. It just kind of it's kind of a bit dangerous with it because it's like the women, they have like the impression that, oh, we're equal, we're the same, and we're not the same. I see it every day that men and women ain't the same. So, but it's I don't know, like it. You could say it's not right to hit a woman, but it's like it has its contradictions because people kind of, I even hear these women say, "Oh, a woman can be just as strong as a man." What does that mean?
So, well, some aspects of women they can be strong in certain things, especially when it comes to childbirth. Men, we couldn't bear children.
Yeah,
We're not meant for that. But
right,
when it comes to pure, energy, pure strength, men are always going to be stronger than women.
right.
I think something women have better issues with some things, but when it comes to strength, all in total, women will never be as strong as men.
Yeah,
But
but some.
there's like, mhm,
Nah, I was saying, like, but some women, they have that notion that's possible, and I mean, and it's shown, like, like years ago they was saying about the military that the women weren't doing so well in the physical than the men. It's probably was like a few, you know what I'm saying? So it telling you something,
mhm. So I just did an interview yesterday with a lady. She's a bikini competitor, but she's also in the Air Force. She's
right?
a master sergeant, and they also had because the military, because you know what they really is. I was telling her how the purpose of men, our purpose is to build, battle, and breed and die. That's about it. And that's why we make better soldiers because we have denser bones, we have more muscles. We have certain things that make us more inept for battle and war.
Right.
Women, they're just starting to get into it. But they used to be back in the day. If you go back in history, there were women who fought. Like if you want,
Yeah.
yeah, they fought. Russia was one of the few countries that had women actively fighting. That was during World War II.
Right.
And also there were a few countries that had women actively fighting in combat. Even Germans didn't have their women in active combat.
I mean, throughout, I mean, there were women warriors throughout his, but it wasn't a lot like the men. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It was very rare that you see like a woman capable of going along with the men. It's very rare throughout history. So,
Mhm.
but it's like it can be deceiving the way how women are strong. Women can just be just as strong as a man, but then it's like, oh, she's a woman, you shouldn't have hit a woman like that. You can't argue with a woman and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes, true. Sometimes it's not worth working with women. Sometimes you're just gonna lose because they're a
yeah,
little bit more you know emotional compared to men. Man, we can be emotional too. But the
yeah,
aspect of it's like MMA, like Dana didn't want to bring her in MMA, but there was other countries like there's a lot of women, especially in Brazil, that do MMA. people like just gonna get Amanda Nunes, people like Jessica Andrade. I mean, it's just women start catching up now. Remember when UFC started back almost 30 years ago, a little 30 years ago, it was more like a kumite. You can guys come in any weight, any size. You know, you see guys half the size, one guy beat another guy. You
Right.
see guys who were military, they were doing it because that's why the one thing why they changed the UFC because they changed because it was originally owned by the Gracie family. And when the government started seeing that, what was a lot of military guys in the army, guys in the Air Force, Marines, were fighting against martial artists and getting beat. So the
Mm.
government seemed like we can't. This is investment. They, because as you know, people in the military, we as taxpayers pay the taxes, and the government takes care of them more or less. But a lot of these guys get injured, and the government saw that we can't afford to get our military people injured. So they told the Gracie family, you got to put in these guidelines, put in weight classes, rules like that. Back in the day, you can hit a guy in the back of the head,
Mm.
you can kick a down opponent,
Mm.
but the Gracies didn't want to go that way. So they say they sold it to Dana White and the Fachitas,
Mm.
and they took it and they put in weight classes, they put in rules, they put in this, and and it evolved over the years. For a long time, Dana didn't want to have women, but
Right.
women were already fighting MMA across the world in other countries.
Right.
I remember watching this one time. I was watching this fight. I think it was who was it? Was it Rose's? Was it Rose's Sexton? Yeah, it was Rose's Sexton was fighting this girl. I think she was Chinese or Japanese or something. She broke the girl's leg. I
Mm.
saw that fight. The girl's leg got broken. If I can find the video, I'll
Mm.
send it to you. And
Mm.
I watched it. It was one of these independent companies, one of these small companies. But over the time, UFC started to grow, and then after a while, when it say Dana said he didn't want to see women fight, but after a while, he had no choice because
Right.
these women wanted to fight. And then he really got big with Dana when he had Ronda Rousey. She had a great look to her, great style, popular.
Yeah.
Dana, Ronda, she was a two-time, you know, bronze medalist judo champion, and and she also fought with another organization before then that was Strikeforce before it got shut down. The guy who owns Strikeforce now owns Bellator, and that's Scott Coker. Now, Ronda came in, she was a new star, boom, 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 really popular. White girl, could fight. Her best move was, she submitted her opponent's first round with an arm bar. She only went past 2 rounds only 3 times in her career, and that was with her. A fight against Rose, with her I think her second fight with Misha Tate in UFC, then her fight against Liz Carmouche, and when she lost against Holly Holm.
Mm.
And after a while, I said, what? He started to grow. So what? Let me expand the divisions. He bring in 115. So the girls who were fighting 135 went down to 115. Okay, see how girls in 135 feel like they went comfortable 135. Then later on, he bring 125 for those women who fight 135 that say, what, I'm too small for one, I'm too far, too small for 135, or women who say like, what, I can't make the weight for 115. So he brought in 125. All right. So you had 3 divisions. Then Chris Cyborg came along about 6 years ago. Chris Cyborg was very popular. She beat Sheena Carano back in Strikeforce. She was fighting over Invicta. Popular fighter. He brought her in. He didn't like Chris Cyborg because
Mm.
her controversy about her using steroids. But the fact was, he had at least 3 or 4 or 5, had half a dozen guys on the UFC that was taking steroids. Frank Mir, Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem. Mills got this is before they put in the guidelines for the USADA. Back in the day, you could be popping, but then when UFC started really exploding and you got contracted with big companies like Reebok, they had to also, bring in USADA, which is the United States Drug Enforcement Agency. You know, and
Mm.
that's they test all the fighters before the fight. If you have any kind of pets in it, you get suspended, and you can't fight for a good while.
Yeah. So it
So
was
he,
no, I was just following. So it was like a slow process for the women and stuff.
yes, so process and still on the slow side. But
Okay.
now he supposed to has 4 divisions, but he technically he only has 3 because he shut down. 145 was brought in because Chris Cyborg she couldn't make 135. She fought her first fight was against a woman by the name of Leslie Speaker Smith, and that was at 140, a catchweight fight because Cyborg couldn't fight at 135. She was
Mm-hmm.
too big for 135, so they made a catchweight fight at 140. So after Holly Holm lost her title to Misha Tate, they just started to think about, you know what? Let me create the over 45 division, like Invicta, like Bellator. They're the only two organizations right now that I know of, other than okay, now PFL has it, that has women at 145. So because he was going to give the title to the fight was between Holly Holm and Jermaine Duranaman.
Mm.
Jermaine beat Holly. She lost the title. The next thing was that Jermaine was supposed to fight Cyborg for the title, but Jermaine decided to vacate the title. And then what happened was, I think Chris Cyborg fought Holly Holm for the vacated title, and then she beat her, and she defended her title at least twice before she lost to to Amanda Nunes. It's just it's a process, and and the thing is, you need the bigger, stronger women to come in, and it just it fits for women who just you gonna have women who are some women, the weight classes guys usually a lot of these ladies are fighting 20 pounds under their walk around weight. You might have a woman who's like 150 and she has to fight and she say, okay, I'm gonna fight in 20, 30 pounds. She might have to fight in either as a straw or she can fight she can fight as a flyweight or she can fight as a bantam. So she feel like, you know what? I'm 115. I'm 150 walking around. I dropped my weight down to, let's say, let me drop 15 pounds. It's 135. So, but you know what? I can go a little further. See, I can drop 25 pounds. I can fight at 125. You know, it's all about the process.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm. It's a lot to learn. It took me time to learn. I wasn't, like I said again, I wasn't a big fan of MMA. I wasn't a big fan of it. But like I said,
Oh, you
we get
been? No, I was asking like how long you been watching it? Like you into it?
I think for the last, I would say 9, maybe 10 years.
9 years, 10 years. So that's a
Yeah, yeah,
long,
okay.
pretty long.
Yeah, and also I really got into more with my man. I met my man Coach, Coach Sharon Harrison on here on YouTube. We started doing commentary and stuff like that. And I just
Yeah,
really got in more to it. I focus a lot more on the women. I do some guys I do like
yeah,
Aljamain Sterling who won his fight last night against Henry Cejudo. A couple of fighters I follow. Some guys I used to follow, but they did say stupid things and I don't support them anymore.
right,
But otherly, mostly because as my know, as my channel is dedicated to women's sports, especially in bodybuilding, MMA. I follow more the women I do the men.
right,
Kind of like with men's bodybuilders, I follow more the women bodybuilders than I do the men's bodybuilders because I like women bodybuilders. I'm a big fan of women bodybuilders. But like I said, it's a tough sport, and
right,
sometimes you get knocked out in the first round. What happened with Jessica Andrade, or you can get submitted, or you can go all the distance. And I've seen fights where there's a fight. It was a woman by the name of Julio Stamarenko. She's over in UFC, and another name by Liz. I don't know how to say her name right. She calls her the Battle Angel. It was in Invicta. These women went 5 rounds to fight for the women's bantamweight title in Invicta. 5 rounds of this. It was one of the bloodiest fights you ever seen
mm,
in women's mixed martial arts history. One of the
mm,
bloodiest fights. It was
mm,
bloody. I've seen fights with men that would get bloody. Guys' jaws dropped. Guys are bleeding under the place. It's tough. And but people keep, but like I say, no difference in boxing. You see fights where guys go the distance, getting beat up, knocked up. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's tough.
mm,
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, I won't be on too much longer. I got some stuff I got to work on,
all
and
right,
I just want to talk about this because I usually do make my little videos I used to make, but I say, you know
right.
what? I can go on live stream. I can talk a little more. I don't want to be spending time because I'm working on so much stuff right now. If you follow my channel, I got a couple interviews coming up.
Yeah, man. I'm like you get making that money. You
I'm not monetized, so I'm not making
not
no money.
not like that, but you're doing your thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I keep him busy. That's what it is. Because I just interviewed Saturday with lovely Saint Carter, beautiful woman,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. I watched some of it. I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I had a little interview yesterday, but
I saw that interview with the dude with the mask. I looked at it for
yeah.
a good bit, and I say,
I mean, yo, he just caught my interest because he was talking to you on a live stream. So I was like, he was saying some thing. I'm like, whoa, hold up. babe, run that back again. He was like, he was being bondage and all this stuff. So I'm like, yo, would you wanna, tell your story on how you encounter these women? And he was like, yeah, like, but I gotta hide my face. I don't want to show my identity or anything like that. So, I'm getting ready and send him link, and then he ain't, it ain't what I expected, yo. I thought he was gonna share at least more. Like, I thought it'd be like a little bit like 30 minutes or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was even like sending you the link, but it's like good thing you didn't see it because it was kind of. I mean, I looked at it, but it wasn't too bad, but I just wanted him to say more. And then he was like, "If I say certain things, it's gonna
Yeah,
demonetize." I understand that, but I'm like, dude, like at least tell me something, like you, like a wrestling story or something. Like he ain't really. He just it wasn't enough seasoning.
yeah, I know. It was like I said, I looked at it for a good few minutes, and I said, you know what, that's not my thing. And yeah, but
Nah,
it's your thing. It's something you want to do. That's
yeah,
why when you do this, don't do this for anybody else but yourself. Like I
right.
said, don't try to be. Like I said, I don't try to be like guys like the female about their channel. Like I saw the thing that if you were sure Priyanka, how age you say, yeah, I said idiot. I laughed at it and I posted. I posted. I said, one before you say like you should post next. You should put that nah to hate me now. I said nah. I got a better one. I said no. I posted in my IG story. Like it was a. I took a picture from the Chappelle show,
Yeah.
and it's the episode where it's the haters. It's Charlie Murphy, Danielle Rollins, Dave Chappelle. It's Silky Johnson, Buck Nasty, and Beautiful. And it says the haters have arrived. And I put right there. I tagged the female vitamin channel, and I think that's how AJ2. And then instead of he say put Nas hit me now, I said nah, I got this. I put that one back and says it's cool when they do it, but not cool when I do it. Fuck them. Here's the fella. I was going hard. He's from South Carolina. He's from
Yeah.
down the road from. I said, yeah. I said, I love that. I said, I know JJ. He liked it because I think he liked it, but it just I went hard. So it's cool. I just I just have you ever heard that song back yet? I seen you a copy of it. You haven't
Right.
heard of it. It goes hard. And
Yeah.
when you have people saying like, I know EG, he's joking around, but like I say, we get those haters like that. You gotta find that song. Say, it's cool when you do it. Not cool when I do it. Fuck 'em. Birds of a feather, we flock together. Not monetize. It's a great song. You should
Yeah.
hear it.
You can send it.
Whenever,
You can send it to me.
yeah, cause I said it to you. Because if you ever have situations like a hater, just send that to them and shut them down. But I know he's not a hater. He likes what I do, and he really support with bodybuilding, and he's great at that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
All right.
I've got because I got some work. I got to work where I got to finish that. I'm gonna send some clips to Saint later on because I told him I'm gonna send some clips because when we got finished it was like a little bit after 6. I had to eat, I had to work some stuff. I said no, I'll go through my videos and send some clips. But she's a great lady, beautiful woman. I mean, she's a bikini competitor. Like I said, that's why I want to really expand more on my channel. I hadn't interviewed women in MMA for a while. I need to reach out to some women in MMA, do some interviews with them.
Hmm.
Because I love to do interviews, talk to some ladies. I got my friend Sarah. I mean, maybe she want to come back on. She's used to be in the UFC, but now she was supposed to had a fight about a couple of weeks ago, but that fight got canceled because her opponent had to drop out because of a medical emergency. But like I said, yeah, it's just like I love talking to these ladies. They
Yeah.
give me some great stories. This young lady I'm got tomorrow, she's a gymnast from the UK. And this lady here,
Yeah, I
Haley,
seen that. I seen that. I seen it. Seen you. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I just seem interesting. That's what I was saying.
yeah. And I was checking my IT. I just picked up another lady started following me. This is Wendy Fertino. And Wendy is a multiple time Olympia competitor who competes in women's figure. And I
Mm.
might reach out to see if she's interested. I reached out Rock Rock for an interview, but she never got back to me. But I'm gonna see if I can see now she's following
Who?
me on IG. Yeah. Her name is Wendy Fortano.
You said rock box something like you said something. I
What?
could. You
I
said
say
something.
reach out. I say reach
Oh,
out. I,
okay. I was
I
like,
say reach out.
oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I think now that she's following me on IG, I'll send her a message. She'll probably respond to it. If she
Yeah.
follow me, then what it do is when they follow you back, usually they have a thing where they block you. Like I have, if people would want to follow me, and if I'll know them, I can just block them. But now that
Right.
she's following me on YouTube, I mean on IG, I'll send her a message to see if she's interested in doing an interview because she saw one of my videos I posted. That one I posted this morning. You saw that one?
Which one?
It was yesterday morning. I got up. I was watching the car the the coronation of Prince Charles. I was talking about that a little bit of coronation. I was talking about other stuff. I was talking
Nah, I
about a bunch
didn't.
of.
I don't think I seen that one. I
But I
don't be
went
on the Facebook stuff like that. I'll.
IG.
Oh, okay. Yeah, IG. Your stuff don't be post like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see too much. I'll see some of your clips, but I don't see like a lot. I gotta like type in. I gotta go to your IG page to go to it.
Yeah. Well, usually they're post. They're posting. If you follow me, they're posting in your IG. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you just gotta catch every now and then. Like I said, But I was talking about this other girl who was competing, but this is like I said, this is about MMA. But I
right.
will talk about that probably tomorrow. Because I said I was going to say something about it. I might even post it, something in my community section.
All
And
right.
just check it out and give your thoughts.
No.
But anyway, folks, I do appreciate it coming through. I do appreciate my man K. Elder Wanderer. Best of luck in his process and on YouTube. Thank you, man, Marcus Bell, my brother. He's always supports me. Thank you all who are fan women in mixed martial arts. Like I said, there's some aspects in mixed martial arts that's almost similar to that to women's bodybuilding. The ladies go through a lot physically and mentally, and they don't get as much support as their male counterparts do. But that's why I like to talk about these things. Like I said, I want to do a little more every now and then. I might post some more videos. I need to do that too because I've been kind of a little bit, behind on my MMA stuff. But I try to catch up. But right now, with the bodybuilding season started up, I'm going to be busy on that because that's going to take a good amount of my focus. I think we won't have another show. We have this Pittsburgh coming up, I think this week, and then after that we'll have the second women's bodybuilding show for this year, and that is the New York Pro. And that's coming in I think in that week after next, this week. That's the
Mhm.
20th, and that's the one of the biggest shows. There's a tier show, but the fact that you don't have points anymore. Tiers don't have a point called a tiers anymore. You don't have the point system. So you don't need it. And you call it a tier show. It's just any show. Because you have to win to qualify for the Olympian now. No more point system. It's tough. I think what they should do is like Jake could do this. Because Jake was I might talk about this. No, I'm gonna talk about that on my live stream. But like I said, thank you, KL, for coming through.
All
Appreciate
right.
your support. I hope you got a little education on MMA. I hope I educated you a little
Well,
bit.
I mean, you talked a lot, but I don't know if I registered, but thank you for
It,
um.
yeah, just watch the video again. It'll register. It get to you. It takes a while.
All
It takes
right,
a lot.
all
Yeah.
right,
It's something you're just not gonna click on to like that.
all right.
But folks, I appreciate you coming through. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Like I said, congratulations to my man Oliver Jermaine Sterling. He beat up that Burger King Jr. Congratulations to Xiaonan. I mean, she's probably going to be fighting her fellow countrywoman. And congratulations to all the opponents that competed last night at UFC 288. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I listened to my man Coach talked about it. Like I said again, I'm not going to pay any pay-per-view Dana White beater. I'm not wasting my money on your shit. I can listen to somebody talk about it, or I can find it for free. So anyway, this is your man always Judge Page, aka the Emperor of WWE Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Have a great rest of your week.